I'm doing a recording of a screenshot there.
Is that why I'm seeing like?
Yeah, yourself 87 times.
Yeah.
So a couple of things as we're recording. I'm going to turn the screen share back off so it's not so weird. You can see at the top of the page is your controls. It doesn't show all the time, but if you mouse up over top center, you'll see where you can invite people.
Okay.
Your microphone, your video control. The bandwidth usage is a really important one. Click on that. Okay. And what you may need to do as you play with this and you explore it is, if you find that your video gets stuck or somebody else's video is getting stuck on a regular basis, have them lower this bandwidth usage. So you can drop it down to medium or low, and you can see it changes the quality of the image, that kind of thing, but it still works.
Okay.
But it'll keep them from buffering on their end because they may be battling, slow DSL, internet or whatever that may be, and it'll keep them from getting stuck and phasing in and out of the broadcast.
Okay.
Then when the settings button next over is where you'll connect video or audio if they're not working.
Okay.
You can connect it there. And then, of course, the phone is to hang up and leave the call.
So under settings, it's got default, and then it's got, so I guess, is that my webcam, HD?
Yes, correct. It's going to auto find that stuff if it's already set up. And this is where you would walk somebody through, and you may have to do it on a phone call. Hey, click on that button, and then connect your webcam, and then connect a microphone. The optimal way to do this is to have a set of headphones, because what will happen oftentimes in these conference calls or video calls is you'll get a audio loop that is, so the microphone, it's coming out the speakers and back into the microphone, and it'll create that weird echoey thing.
Mm-hmm.
Set of headphones fixes that every time.
So if I wear headphones, I'm good.
Yeah, and your setup appears to be working fine, that you wouldn't need it, but especially if somebody's on like an iPad or a laptop, you got to have a set of headphones there, or you're going to get that echoey loop kind of thing that's going to jack up the audio.
And where would I plug in the headphones at? I'm just
into your computer.
Just like I plugged it. Okay. All right.
So plug them right into your computer, or if you're on an iPad, or you can do it from an iPad, Android pad, iPhone, or Android iPhone, or Android iPhone, or an iPhone. And with those, you can do like this is a mic and microphone and headphone. That'll do both on a phone. So as long as you've already set up the Hangout on air from a desktop, then you can actually join it from a mobile device if you needed to. Okay. Same for them, but they'll need to download the app. Okay. So it's the Hangout, Google Hangout app is available on iOS and Android. So it gives you a lot of flexibility on how you can have people join. The other option is this tool called Uber Conference, which is a plugin for Hangouts on Air. And Uber Conference allows you to have a dial-in number where people can call into this conference from their phone.
So they don't have to necessarily be on the web piece of it. Just get on a phone and call dial a number in so they can listen. Yep.
So you can have them dial in and only be able to see, only be able to hear them, but you could, that's how you connect with an expert or whatever else that may be.
Okay, gotcha.
Gives you more flexibility. And again, you can invite people to come to these, or you can make it to where it's just you recording it for later use.
Okay, so if I'm a consumer and I'm interested in this, I'm obviously going to need to get some sort of an invite, right? So as I go ahead and I get these invites out, these people are going to be doing what I basically just did to get logged into yours, right?
Yeah.
Then they go ahead and they're on it. I'm obviously, you sent me an invite as a participant, I would assume, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if I'm not a participant, if I'm just a viewer, I can't I can't be cocking back and forth. In other words, I'm right. I'm not going to be interrupted as I'm doing my thing by Joe Blow, who's like, hey, I got a question. That kind of a thing.
That's
right?
correct.
But does that individual have an option to ask me a question?
Yes. So that's where you would look at different avenues. So this Hangout, for one, it will be broadcasting on your YouTube channel.
Okay.
Secondly, you can take and embed this broadcast. In the bottom right corner is a link that says links. I don't know if it's on your screen as a user or not.
Okay.
In the very bottom right of our broadcast screen, is there a, no, okay. So let me see if I can switch to screen share and show you that. Okay. Okay, so right here is, I'm going to click that, and it's going to pop up, and you can see it gives us the event page where somebody can join it.
Okay.
Here's where it's broadcasting on your YouTube page.
Okay.
And then this video embed. Now this is where you can take this embed, take it over to your website, embed it into a page on your website, or embed it into a blog post on your WordPress site that you have.
Okay.
And you could invite people to come there. And then you can give them instructions. For instance, if you have any questions, text them to, and have a phone set up to answer text messages back and forth.
Okay.
So you can have 10 guests on the Hangout on Air, but you can have an endless amount of interactivity by people who are watching and texting questions in and out of the Hangout.
So if I wanted to invite people, I would be giving them the event page link, correct?
That's correct. So if you want them to be in the Hangout and wanted them to be able to speak and ask questions in the live video, audio,
okay,
that's
so
the link.
That's a participant then.
That's
okay.
correct. Yeah.
And then the YouTube page, help me understand that. That's
your YouTube page.
Okay.
That's connected to your business account.
So that's the location of this event on my YouTube page.
Correct.
And then the video embed would be if I wanted to put this on my website, post that video embed in a blog on the website, and then I could, within that blog, give instructions.
Yes. Yes,
to
exactly.
an individual who wanted to go ahead and not be a participant, but view the presentation.
Correct.
So couldn't I also just email the video embed?
No. It's actually it's an iframe code that's going to embed it into any page that basically takes HTML code.
What if I wanted to just send an email to my database to tell people, hey, here's I'm going to be doing this event, and if you want to listen in, here's how you do it.
So that's where you would send them to one of two places. You would either send them to your YouTube channel,
okay,
the YouTube link, or you would send them to the page where you've embedded this broadcast.
So my website.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
That's where I see it as a big win for you, because you drive the traffic to your website. Your site becomes more of a source for traffic every time you get people over there for a Hangout.
So that's what I'd want to do. Is I'd want to be sending out an email blast that directs them to the location of this video embed in my website.
Correct.
Okay.
So you're building site traffic. You're building, people spending a length of time on your website.
Okay.
And then after the broadcast, you're going to take the embed that's recorded to your YouTube channel and come back and, archive that on your website as, here's training session 101 for, this training topic.
Gotcha.
And that way, in the future, you're still driving traffic there over time, and you're getting people spending a length of time on your website, which is always a win for you for search.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So there's a lot of other tools within the control room on the left-hand side. Do you have the ability to use the control room as a participant?
So as a participant, I'm looking at I've got on the left bar, I got this bar and it's got a little pencil with a mustache and then a little chat button and a screen share and all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
The Hangout toolbox, the Cameraman is another one. So Cameraman allows you to set these up a little more specifically for a broadcast.
Where's the Cameraman?
I think I have the control of that, so I'm going to show you in a screen share again.
Okay.
Switch over, screen share mode. Okay, right here on the left is Cameraman. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to open up over here on the right.
Okay.
And you can see, as guests join, hide their audio and video from my broadcast. So that could be, right now, what's recording shows your picture, and if we had the 10 people in here, it would be showing all of their pictures on the recorded broadcast.
Okay.
If I tell it to hide that, now the recording portion is everything above where your picture's at.
Okay.
So you can get a little bit cleaner, like a educational recording in that scenario.
Sure. So so when I archive it, the recording doesn't have everybody's photo or everybody's sitting there watching, right?
Yes, exactly. So you can choose to and then the same thing on the next one down. So the first one is you're hiding their audio and video from the broadcast. The second one is I said that backwards. The second one is where you're hiding the people down below.
Okay.
And then the third one is you're just going to mute the people as they come in automatically. When they join, like if they jump in late, it'll mute them initially until you see fit to unmute them.
Okay. Okay. So this is the tool I'm going to be using to kind of manage this whole thing.
Yeah, it kind of cleans up what you're recording and what other people are experiencing.
Okay.
It just gives you a little bit more control of that. And that's the Cameraman.
All right. And it looks like I have all the other stuff.
It's not the end of the world if you don't turn it on, but it definitely makes a better presentation for your archive. All right, so there's some other apps, as I said, Uber Conference. There's other tools, other apps that you can use. Once I get off here, I would suggest going in and creating a Hangout on Air, and I'm going to walk through that process here in just a moment, as if we were going to do one, how to create one, how to start one, and then get in and go in and push all the buttons, and review what we've been doing here as to how to control the experience for the end user.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to switch to screen share, but this time I want to go to, let's see, I'm going to go to screen one. and I'm going to switch to, let's see here. Are you able to see my Google Plus there, Matt?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I'm logged in right now as me, the person, and so are you. You're logged in as Matt.
Okay.
If you click here on your face, you'll see that you're not going to have this many, but you're going to have this one that's here, Home Loans for Families.
Okay.
So you would switch into that mode, and then after you're in the brand Home Loans for Families, you're going to come over here to Home, and then you're going to go to Hangouts. This page will come up, and it's probably going to look a little bit different because I'm in person mode and you would be in brand mode. But there's a button right up here at the top that says start a Hangout on air. There's also this one right here that says Hangouts on air. When I go to that page, it shows me this is what you would see if you land as the page first. And it says create a Hangout on air. You'll click that button and then just answer the questions as you begin to start a Hangout on air. And if you'll notice, you'll see this Hangout on air going right here.
Okay.
This is us going live. Now, this is only being broadcast between you and me right now because it's basically it's a private. And if you notice right here, it says shared privately. So it's just you and me here. Nobody else knows this is going on unless we invite them to the Hangout. So you can create at the beginning, when you invite, you'll be able to invite people publicly if you choose to do that. And that's okay to do, but just know, you may get somebody in that you may not want. But if I come back here to the tools, I could go to.
When you say I'm inviting these folks publicly, you're talking about people who are going to be viewing the event, not participants, correct?
These would actually be participants. So when you're initially setting up your Hangout on air, you're deciding who's going to be invited to this Hangout.
Okay. And if I code it as private, only the people I invite would be able to gain access.
That's correct. So you can just say, Joe at so-and-so-company.com. And the only key would be that it needs to be set up on an account where they have a Gmail.
Okay. Okay. So I don't want to get myself confused, but I want to just make sure I clarify this. So if I make it as private and I have 4 participants that I've invited, they're the only ones that would see the Hangout?
They're the only ones that would be inside the Hangout as a participant.
Okay.
It still could be embedded on your page and broadcasting to your YouTube channel.
So if I were to announce that, hey, at 10 o'clock, I'm going to have this Hangout, right? And I'm going to be interviewing Joe Blow. I invite Joe Blow. He and I are participants. But if anybody else decides they want at 10 o'clock to go check this out, they would just, click the links that I gave them to get to where they need to go, and they would be able to view it.
That's correct.
Okay. And I could even give some sort of an instruction within the Hangout, like you have your bar at the bottom, Mike Gray, onlinebusiness.com, that would say, to ask questions, please.
Yes, exactly. You could say,
email
put your name, text questions to the phone number, email them to, instant message, whatever the avenue that you would want to receive text from or information from.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right.
So I'm trying to think. Obviously, at the end of the broadcast, when you're done, you hit stop broadcast down at the bottom.
Okay.
And your broadcast is over. And the other thing is that when we create a Hangout like this one, a Hangout on Air, and I invited you individually, and it's a private broadcast, as it's recording to your YouTube channel, it's going to leave that video as unlisted.
Okay.
So if you make it a public Hangout, it's going to make that video public when you're done.
Okay.
If it's unlisted, then if it's an unlisted Hangout, it'll be an unlisted video on your YouTube channel. So if you wanted to make that video public, you'll need to switch over to your YouTube channel and then change the settings on that video to public.
Okay, but that's after I'm done.
That's after you're done, right?
Okay.
It just gives you, if you wanted to go over and change the description or add some other edits, then you would be able to do that in that delayed after the fact.
Okay. Okay. I think we ought to do a Hangout where I've set it up.
Exactly. So why don't we try that?
Okay.
Why don't we hang up? I'm going to stop the broadcast here in just a moment. We're going to hang up, and then let's have you try to switch over and do it from the business side.
Okay.
Home Loans for Families, Google Plus page. Invite me to a Hangout, and invite my email, though, Mike from a live email. And then I'll join you, and you drive the ship.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do then is just go to my Google login page.
Correct.
And just click my my profile.
Yeah. And then click on the picture, and it'll drop down, and you should see the Home Loan for Families.
Okay.
Okay.
And then click on Home Loans for Families, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And now you're acting as the brand, your company.
Okay.
And it's connected to your YouTube channel. So you'll go to your top left, click the drop down, and then go to Hangouts.
Top left. Okay, got it. Okay. I see. So
All right.
Google page, Hangouts. Okay.
Yeah. So now I'm going to go ahead and stop this broadcast, because we both have to be out before we can enter into another Hangout.
Okay.